Cerritos.
You first, Randy. You're the one who broke the story.
I think that the whole thing in a nutshell is it's classic pay-to-pay politics.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about county government now, and you talk about all government, and being able to have a political office such as the Los Angeles County Assessor, who oversees each and every one of our individual property taxes and evaluations of our homes and businesses, when anytime you turn that over to a political entity or make it a political seat in the way that it has become, it opens up corruption, and it opens up to a large number of people to come in and to bring in money.
Oh, are other counties don't do it that way? They're appointed or what?
Some counties appoint their assessor.
Okay.
The first time we had a clue about this was
Right.
a gentleman brought in.
I was going to ask you that. So this is how you found out about it.
Yeah. Well, Randy got a call from. We were discussing this on the way in. Randy got a call from two people the same night within about 10 minutes.
Really?
And he said, they both said that John was, the office was going to be subject of a investigation by the district attorney. And then Randy got on the phone the next day and called, and then we got notice that there indeed was going to be an investigation.
And there was one had already been opened, and that was two people inside the office, and then there was a third, and then there was a fourth, and before you know it, after we had put out the first story that Mr. Nokus was under actual investigation, then it was like the floodgates opened up, and I have never seen so many phone calls and so many emails and so many secret envelopes being delivered to Los Cerritos Community News in a matter of days. It was absolutely astonishing when people wanted to start telling us about what was going on inside the assessor's
Well, that's
office.
when we got.
So wait, you started hearing from people inside the office?
Yes.
Absolutely.
But until then, and two in one day, all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, nothing.
Nothing.
So what triggered the two people to come to you? Do you know?
Well, the two people told us about the investigation, but then we got a call from a gentleman who, inside the office, who gave us a lot of information. And that's when we knew something was going on. We got this 2-inch thick, what do you call that?
A file or something?
Yeah, we started getting
the contributions from the FPPC
Well,
file.
that's public record.
Yeah,
Yes.
all of Mr. Nogu's contributions, which are online, within anybody can get it through levote.net, or you can, or if you understand politics, and I've been around the horn a long time. I think you just those who know, especially how the political game is played.
So,
And we started looking in regards to campaign donations,
Okay.
and then we started looking into some of the allegations of how people were getting their properties reduced, and we were following the money.
Let me ask you this, because I once worked, I was supervisor in town, I was a speechwriter for a couple of years. Isn't it true that people can fill out a form to get their, try to appeal to have their property taxes reduced? That in itself is not bad. But what do we have hint here, that he was being paid to reduce?
Well, there's
Brian.
there's the people who own homes who want to get their properties reduced, and that generally isn't a problem. But if you own a $20 or $30 million building or a $70 million building, you generally go through this process, and you will hire an agent. And this is where a gentleman named Ramin Solari came into the picture. And the agent, the agent will come and argue in front of the assessor appeals board that your property tax should be lowered.
Okay.
And then the appeals board hears from the agent, and they hear from an appraiser inside the assessor's office.
Wait, let's see if I can understand, if I'm following this. So you automatically get this person to say it for you, or you can say
No,
yourself?
you pay him. No, the agent.
Yeah.
You sign a contract and pay him 50% of the reduced value of your
And these
property.
are private people. That's what
Yes.
they do. That's what they do for a living. And you find these agents how? They're listed somewhere or whatever. I didn't even know there was a special field like this.
They won't generally come up unless you have a large building to reduce, like a $10 or $20 million building,
I see.
because they get 50% of what you get your reduction on. It generally goes back a few years.
I see. And I have a note here. This fellow, Ramin Solari.
Ramin Solari.
I said that wrong. Who runs assessment appeal services, a firm which helps property owners attain reductions in their property tax assessments.
Correct.
And he allegedly, my note here says, pressured several clients to make political contributions, including to the assessor. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the LA Times, who's been following our lead, so to speak, came out with an article just this past
Actually, 2
Saturday,
days ago, I think.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
And confirmed the pay-to-play politics going on, that if you donated heavily to No Goose's campaign, you would get your property tax reduced.
But how do we know that, just to be fair, how do we know that the assessor knew about this?
I think that's the wonder of our investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you go to www.loscerritosnews.net, I think we have a complete timeline in regards to how we've been able to piece this all together. And you just can't walk in off the street and try to find out exactly how what's going on in the assessor's office. If you're an average citizen, even if you're a newspaper, you have to go through a absolute legal maze and jumping hurdles to go ahead and try to get internal documents that basically states exactly the conversations that have been going on internally between Mr. Nogoose, Mr. Solari, and a long history of other types of documents
So
that
wait,
we've been able to obtain.
they have conversations. Would they be dumb enough to have them recorded?
Well, they have them certainly in writing, and we have copies of those.
And we've done several public information requests to the assessor's office, and we have documented information that Solari was, he ordered No Goose's top lieutenants around. The emails are very obnoxious.
This is unbelievable. We got to say again, this is alleged, right? Nothing's been
Yes.
proven yet, just to be fair.
Right.
We have Randy Economy and Brian Hews from the Los Cerritos community newspaper, and we're going to get into this some more on the Mark Eisler Show.